Hey guys, Sen here. Our competitive Clan Capital Discord server has been trying since the update and Goblin Mines launched to one-shot the max default layout, but no one was successful due to the level 4 Goblin throwers surviving the wizard chains. The Chinese server has its own huge separate Clan Capital community, and they were actually using screenshots of the Goblin Mine sneak peeks before the update even dropped to try to come up with a plan as soon as possible. But no one has done it. No one has even come close. Everyone, including myself, believed that it was impossible. I said in my last video that if anyone pulled it off, I would make a future video covering it. Well, it happened, and I'm the one who did it. Let's get into it. And here she is, maxed out District Hall 4 Goblin Mines. The defenses are maxed, the buildings are maxed, the walls are maxed, even the traps you can't even see are maxed. I spent 20 hours these past 2 days on just this one map, seeing once and for all if you can one-shot this base. And this is what I came up with. Starting off, we're going to use the same rage placement as I did in my previous video. So if you learn those strategies, it will really translate to this one because we're coming in with a very similar entry. The key differences is we're being much faster on our deployments because time is actually an issue on this attack. I've even had a 99% time fail against this base. With everything being level 4, there's more HP on the map. The buildings are killing your troops quicker, and so you have to be as optimal as humanly possible to make this work. We drop our first ram over on this tree over here. It will go forward, tank a goblin shot. We drop it a little bit farther away so that it has enough time to tank that first shot from the goblin, and then tank the 2 traps up ahead. We drop down the second ram before the zap trap procs to tank the zap trap for the Sparky, and the Sparky gets off her shot, and as the barbarians start dying off, we drop another ram up the right side to tank the Inferno Tower and cannons and minion hive. And once those goblins group up on your Sparky, you want to drop your lightning as quickly as possible to avoid any shots from the spear throwers. Once the Sparky gets locked onto by the Inferno Tower, drop down the wizard immediately. Every point of HP on your Sparky matters, so you have to be as quick as possible on that wizard. But you also don't want to let the wizard get locked onto because the wizard also needs every bit of HP, and you'll see why. We'll drop down the giant up ahead. He'll tank a log trap before we drop down another giant after the first giant also tanks that little spear trap. And those 3 troops, they're going to beat through the wall and try to take out this entire section. This is the only instance of RNG on this run. The wizard has to kill this mortar and finish off all these trash buildings up here. Otherwise, if the wizard dies, your run is over, but that is basically the only amount of RNG and is about, I'd say, a 10 to 20% chance of working. So if this fails at the very beginning, you can just quit out and try this again. But now the Sparky is working her way in. Once she locks on to that little crusher, you're going to drop down the giant between these 2 trees right here immediately, and that way the giant won't take any shots from the spear thrower and the giant cannon, and pull out the Tesla as well as tank for the 2 cannons. Now the Sparky's going to work her way in. Now you can get very lucky in that the giant can actually survive these 2 cannons at 1 HP on this rapid rocket, and then he'll move his way forward to this giant cannon and actually tank a zap trap between these mortar as well as the wall. But it doesn't need to happen. You just need the RNG from up top to go in your favor, and we'll also keep a close eye on that as this raid goes on. But the Sparky is going to splash down these 2 buildings, and immediately after they go down, we'll drop down 3 Larry barrels going towards the spear thrower, 1 giant towards the reflector at this angle, open up the wall, this wall right here to pull the log trap, and the giant's going to tank the blasto after the barrel goes down. And look at this wizard. I actually got lucky. He targeted this clan house right here. This can happen where the wizard goes after this clan house and gets inside the minimum range of the mortar, and he'll attack the mortar inside the range and take it out for use at 1 HP. This has happened a couple times already, and this is what makes the run work. Now, once the Sparky crosses this wall and starts approaching this wall, we're going to drop down the ram to go after this wall, open up the wall, as well as doing enough damage to this multi-cannon so that 1 Sparky shot can finish it off. The giant is moving his way through. Once the Larrys reach this position, you're going to drop down a ram heading towards the spear thrower like this. It'll tank the multi-mortar, open up the wall, as well as this cannon over here, so you can drop down a giant afterwards right there. You're going to drop the giant right between these 2 trees once the multi-mortar is about to lock onto your Larrys to go into this rapid rocket. You need to drop the giant right there so that it won't walk into the minimum range of the mortar and your Larrys get blasted. And now, once this goblin thrower shoots its first shell, the spear throwers are actually going to walk towards your giant. You're going to drop down a barb to take out these 3 spear throwers, and then once this goblin thrower locks onto your Sparky, it's gonna open up, but you're gonna wait like a split second before dropping down your barbarian to take out the 3 spear throwers, because if you drop down your barb too fast, he kills the first set of spear throwers and then he starts walking towards the goblin thrower. You want him to stay in this one spot so you can finish off all the spear throwers as fast as possible. Maintain the health of your Sparky, because the Sparky is what finishes off this raid. The wizard has taken out all the trash on the top section, so at this point, as long as we don't mess up, this run can work. Now the Sparky's going to finish up the goblin thrower once all the goblins are gone, and the Larry army is moving towards the left. The last goblin thrower is the last threat on the map, and your Sparky needs to have enough HP to tank some of the spear throwers, because you're not able to tank the Sparky with anything else. The giant is too far behind. You're going to use your last barbarian to try to take out those goblins, to try to keep your Sparky alive. The Sparky is what's going to kill this multi-cannon as well as the spear thrower. You do have the Larrys to tank. Hopefully some Larrys will split off and take out the district hall, but you need the Sparky to be alive to finish off the last 2 defenses. We've preserved her health as much as possible during this run. She has enough. She'll be outside the range of the multi-cannon as she shoots this air bomb, splashes it down. You have a huge wave of Larrys, but be careful. There's a bomb between this spear thrower and this hut, and here's where I get lucky. I have just enough HP on this barbarian to tank the spear thrower. My Sparky gets off its shot. The barb also survives and grabs the giant bomb. We have about 10 seconds left, and the Sparky shoots in 4 seconds against this last builder hut, and that's the world's first max District Hall 4 one-shot on the Goblin Mines. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did and want to see more from me. It cost me a bit of my sanity spending 20 hours not even knowing whether it was even possible to accomplish, but now I can say I'm the first to one-shot max default Goblin Mines and go to bed because I'm exhausted. Take care, guys.